All right, back again, everybody. Today we're talking about the narcissist that you're with underestimating you, right? This could be in a friendship, relationship, coworker, intimate setting, whatever. The point is that it's not always a bad thing that they underestimate you. I'll tell you why. In the beginning, when you're with that narcissist and you're trying to build or you're trying to establish, you're sharing information about yourself and things, the narcissist is just gathering everything about you to attack certain things about you at a later point, right? Because the main thing about the narcissist is them feeling as though they know everything, right? They feel they know everything, and they feel that once they have something set in their mind about you, that's what it is. You can't tell them anything different. And most of you, while you're in these situations with a narcissist, in the beginning, it seemed like they were just, awed by you. Like everything you did was right. They couldn't believe that they finally found somebody that was on their level and so forth and so on. It's typical. It's textbook. I'm telling you. And then after a certain point, the moment that you end up, having a disagreement or an argument or something of that like, this is where, if you pay attention back to your situations with them, the narcissist will begin to counter and use things that you've said against you, right? And this is the first sign, the first red flag that a lot of you overlook and still stick with and go through. But the narcissist is always taking notes on how you're operating, how people are operating in general. This is what they do. The majority of their time is spent, looking in or observing, watching people or watching their targets. This is what they do. And that's what gives them that ability to study you to the fullest, to where they feel confident that they automatically know the move you're going to make. They automatically know what you're going to do, what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, all, because this is all they do is study and observe and look for these things in their targets. Now, many of you that's in the intimate setting with them, where you may be living with one or whatnot, it's even worse because they're seeing you on a day in, day out basis. And what they're giving you is a total fake, false end of character, at least, that you're getting to know, that you think you're getting to know from a base level point of understanding, but you're not. They're purposely misleading you with the character that they show you is the decoy. It's to purposely mislead you to think that they would never harm you, that they would never cheat on you, that they would never do this and never do that. And that all allows your guard to be let down while they're on attack mode constantly. And this is why, once they feel like they've subdued you through your trust, because that's the first thing they're going to go for, is that trust. Your trust and belief in them will have you basically a sitting duck, an open target for them. And they will feel, after a certain point, by seeing how you respond to them, how how much faith and confidence that you put in them. At that point, they have no reason to, think that you're a formidable opponent to them. Plus, along with their arrogance, they're going to write you off anyway. And that's why at a certain point you start to see the shift in the narcissist. If you paid attention to your interaction with them, you will see that shift come along at a certain point, where before, when they were, praising you admiring you during a relationship or during your friendship, whatever it may have been, all of a sudden now they can't find anything right that you do. And this is that pivot that they have to do, because in order to exert their will over you and to have their position established above you, they have to pivot, and that pivot comes with now discrediting you for whatever you may have like done stuff for them in the beginning of the relationship or the situation or the friendship, whatever it may have been, and now they can't remember, or now they didn't really need the favor. Now it's you chose to do all of that for them, right? And then their selective amnesia kicks in. And that's another sign for you to kind of like realize what's going on, what you're dealing with. But more importantly, if they're underestimating you, it gives you the ability to be able to fall back, counter, right? Make your escape. Because a lot of you, if you're stuck in a situation and you need to get out of it, that's your perfect opportune time, is to know that if they're underestimating you in that way, they're not going to see you as capable of being able to leave them in the first place. They don't believe that you can leave them. They don't believe that you can do better than them. So that actually works to your advantage. That actually works, to your advantage, to let them stay in that state. A lot of you will try to prove a point of how valuable you are to them and so forth and so on. Listen, they already know this. They already know your value. They already know all of that. They can't tell you that. To tell you that would be taking away the effects of what they're trying to achieve by having control and power over you. They can't allow you to hear these things about them, praising and admiring you after a certain point, because it's a conflict of interest with their drive to control. So basically, when you're still trying to get in the fight to make them recognize you and validate you, you're working against yourself at that point. You're not going to be able to effectively, produce the outcome that you're trying to receive, because you're still thinking that there's something to prove against this person who's been a total deception from the beginning of y'all's connection or whatnot. So instead, fall back, allow them to go in that way of how they want to think and so forth and so on. Because when you do decide to leave or anything like that, or break off the friendship or transfer jobs or whatever it may be, they won't see it coming. They won't be able to counter you to prepare for it, to keep you stuck, right? It's not a bad thing to allow them to think that, and to allow them to think that they have the advantage over you, or where they're underestimating you, not seeing you as capable, not even worried about you. That's where you want to remain with the narcissist, right? You don't want to trigger their minds in any way to start thinking about a counter or bracing. Let them, that way, when you get your exit plan and you're ready to execute that plan, it'll go a lot smoother if they're not even thinking that you were capable of doing such a thing, of leaving them and moving along with no warning. It won't even register to them. They will never see it come. They'll be shocked, like, oh my gosh, like, did they really just cut me off? Like, they'll be mind blown, really, because they really, when they're thinking this way of you, that's just what it's going to be. None of the proving to them or trying to show them, you know, that you're capable or whatnot. None of that in the world is going to make a difference with the narcissist. It's a uphill loss battle, and you're just going to exhaust yourself and keep yourself locked in. And all you're doing when you do that with a narcissist is further confirming just how stuck you are. Yeah, because they see the more fight you put in, the deeper you're engaged, the deeper you're moved by it. So you have to know that if you find yourself feeling that way, like the narcissist is invalidating you, the narcissist is underestimating you, and they're being ungrateful and all of this, that's signs that they are, seeing you in that way. But it's also your tip, your cue to let you know this can be your position of advantage as well. Anyway, that's all I got to say for this video. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, book an appointment, click the link below. And until next time, have a good one.